Alright everyone, welcome to another RFC Reviews. I'm your host Diecast, and today we have the Wei Jiang Ultima Guard, which is their version, of course, on Omega Supreme. Now, as you can see, this is kind of testing the limits of my space a little bit, so we're going to go ahead and just do a quick review of this. I'm not going to transform it into its base mode, although it's kind of there except for the tracks around it. This is the base piece. These are some of the tracks, some of the additional tracks right here for the other side. And you can see they're very thick. Let's go ahead and get them out of the way. And you got the shuttle right here, which does have this really nice display stand if you want to display it in flight mode, and you kind of just got to get it at the right angle and it will stay and not fall. To get that in there, you just disconnect the two sides and you squeeze it. That doesn't help. You just disconnect the two halves and you squeeze it together, and then to disconnect it, I'm just going to do that. I'll connect this back up and put that off to the side. Yeah, the shuttle, we'll just leave it there. But here is, you also get this nice flame effect thing going on. And here you have the base mode. And this is the way it's supposed to be set up from the instructions. I know a couple people have some different ways of displaying this, but this is, and you can flip these up if you want to show off the guns, but this is the correct, I think, instructional base mode. The only thing I did different is I put this down, that way it's just not hanging up there, but it looks like a ramp to get up to the platform. You got some nice detailing back here. You can see the arms have some detailing in them, but you can't even tell they're arms in this mode. You get some nice Tamp craft stickers, danger, non-charge, all that stuff. You can see his robot, you know, legs or shin pieces and feet right here. But there you have the base mode, and also you get his little robot companion, which helps repair him in that one episode for a couple seconds. So it's nice. It's actually really poseable. Head's on a ball joint. You get all types of wiggle and waggle and up and down, and you get a full 360 on the arms. You get a ratchet, or not a ratchet, but a swivel. It gets you some great range. I'll lower this down just a little bit. You get more than 90 degrees bend at the arm. And then you do get a hand rotation. And the four fingers are on a single peg. But I think for this figure it's quite nice. You do get a very nice ab crunch. I mean, he's working it. And then you get the legs, which will go more than all the way up, kind of in an RC pose right there, if you know what I mean. All the way down, they can do a full 360 if you want. You can get some crazy poses with him if you want. And then the knee also gets you just a little bit more than 90 degrees if you want that. And then the foot is on a ball peg on a post to give you some waggle on the foot. So definitely a nice articulated medical bot. And we'll put him off to the side. And then we'll go ahead and get this base ready for transformation, because this is obviously the main part of the robot. And what you want to do on this is first We'll flip these pieces down. Daisy, get out of here. Go lay down. We're going to flip these base pieces. If I flip this up, you can see there's stabilizers here to help these tabs stay up, which is really nice. I didn't notice them at first. And this flips down. This obviously is going to become the backpack. And then we're just going to pull this out just like that. And this whole piece is going to rotate around here in a second. We'll just come around to the back, flip these pieces out. Then we're going to bring the arm pieces around. And then we want to rotate this whole piece around. Kind of get the arms up if you want. Rotate this around. This will come up like this. Yeah, I think it comes up like this. We'll get back to that part. But then turn this around. And you can just lift this up for now. It's going to come back down to put the tank in. But then we're going to just bring this unit up. And then you just want to straighten out the legs. Just kind of a click down, rotate. Then we'll bring the knee down as well. And then the foot, you do the same thing. And again, they're really, really strong ratchets. Straighten the leg out. And we'll do the same thing on this other side. Rotate this around. Bring that down. Bring the foot out and around. We'll just get this piece up for now, out of the way. And there you can see we have the majority of the bot already done. It's all pretty much in that base mode. Now, I love this figure because of the fun play factor of the base. I'm not that happy with the robot itself. It just feels like a cheat. Like these things these are the leg pieces, just clip on the side. So it's almost like this whole thing is just an exoskeleton. And these two tabs, in order to get this around the leg, you have to disconnect one side. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to do it on camera. These are not fun to get together. You definitely have to, it takes a lot of room to get in there and clip these together, which I do not like. And then these yellow pieces, I believe, go on the back side. So let's try and do this real quick. We'll do the first leg right here. And sorry for bumping the camera, this thing is just big. So, put his legs a little bit, give us some room. And then you want to bring this up, and you'll see there's two holes. Hopefully this isn't in the way. Two holes right there that these two posts go on. And same thing on the inside of the leg. So you got to try and push those in. And then do the same thing on this side. But you don't want to push it all in, because you have to remember, and And as you can see, there's not a lot of access to this. You have to connect that piece on the inside. So what I do is if you click the feet up, you'll see right in there, it'll give you just a little bit of access to get into there to clip this together, but you kind of have to do it with two hands. There we go. And that's actually the easiest I've ever gotten that clipped together. And that's how you make his leg so it doesn't look like a skeleton. So we'll do that on the other side. Again, like I said, it's definitely not, it's not the most fun, and it feels kind of like a cheat to me, but gosh darn, he's a big figure. Let's go ahead and do the same thing. Get this around. Again, get this all lined up. And then the best thing to do is to get this to plug in on the back panel, because the pegs are actually pretty tight, and then get it plugged in on the front. And you'll hear everything kind of click in, unless that's plastic breaking. It's very possible plastic breakage. And then we'll put him down right there. And then come to the inside of the leg and try and get that latched, which, sorry, I know this foot's kind of getting in the way. Again, it's just, you have to use two fingers. It's definitely a two-finger job to get in there and latch this together. And you can see that they also bend backwards, and they have to be at a 90-degree angle. So if they bend backwards, you won't be able to lock it in, as you can see. Come on. You can see that first one went really well, and this one's just not. But again, it's just, there we go. Nope. Thought I had it. Alright, there we go. So it's in. Bring the feet back up. And then you just want to make sure you squeeze all this together. There still tends to be kind of a gap on mine. Not really sure why. You can only squeeze it together, and there's nothing to hold it up together up top. It just pegs into the side of the legs. So that's kind of, it is what it is. You can see the ratchets on this. This ratchet really scares me. It doesn't feel good. So it doesn't sound that great either. Like, the out sounds okay. Whoops. There went the medical bot. He's going to need some attention. But it's got great range on the feet. Like, there's great... That just forward back on these legs just does not give me the warm and fuzzy feeling. You can see the flaps on the top there. They do go down and up and out of the way, just not on the back. So you got these front flaps and the side flaps. Let's go ahead and raise the camera up try and center him a little bit, and we'll go ahead and get the arms on. You can see the tank here. You do have this ladder piece, which extends out, and it's just this accordion of ladder, if you like that look. Hopefully my arm's not in the way. Just so you know that's there. We'll accordion this back together. And then also what's nice about this piece is you can come in here and you have that nice Autobot logo that I put the sticker on, but they give you this panel to do so, and it rotates around. That way when it's on his arm, and I turned on the cannon somehow, that way when it's on his arm it's oriented in the right position. So just click that on. There you go. It's like you gotta get that final click on there, and you can see he does have the double jointed elbow, and then you got a rotation at the top of the arm right here. You have this outward rotation and this, and all these ratchets seem fine. It's just those leg ratchets forward and backward that I really have a hard time with, and I really don't like how they sound or feel. So hopefully that's not an issue with this guy down the line. There is a button right on the side here to turn on his laser. And now we'll go over to his claw hand. And unfortunately on this one, I think there were supposed to be lights and sounds. I took this apart and the wires were not all installed, so I have no light or sound on this, and it's not something I could fix. It wasn't a loose wire. They just left a piece out. So maybe they thought it was cup. I don't know. They just, you know, that's what happens. And again, these are all articulated. He can definitely hold stuff. These are also ratcheted. You can even go out if you want. You got about 2 ratchets on that finger and nothing on this. I don't want to push too hard, but yeah. So you got soft ratchets here. You got 2 of them. And then on the middle part of the finger or the claw, you get 2 ratchets. On the tip, you get nothing. But he still can hold a bot. Let's grab something for him to hold. Here he is holding Sideswipe, or Lambor, however you want to say. And he can hold it. He can hold him just fine. And the ratchets on the arms are strong enough to hold it up. Let's go ahead and take him out. Now, I just realized I didn't have my recording lights on, so if it's a little dark in the beginning of the video, I apologize. It's been a while since I've done a review. I was trying to get things straightened up around the house, and summertime and grass and RFC and all that stuff takes up a lot of time, so I haven't had as much time as I would have wanted. Just due to everyday adulting. So here you go with the head. Just want to take this, flip the face around. We can press this button real quick. That'll turn the lights on the face. So here you have those lights. And you can close that up. And then all you have to do is bring the whoop, they just pop off. I thought the missiles rotated up, but they don't. They just tab on there. So, yeah, there's no articulation with this thing, but the treads do roll. So let's go ahead and shove him right down in here. And then you can see there's... Okay, thank you, Omega. There you got 2 clips right there on the tank, and there's 2 corresponding clips right here. So, try and get this clipped in. There we go. And basically what that does, that sits on the button right there. Close this up, and then when you want him to talk, you just... So he says that twice. I don't know why, but again, his lights are on his face, so I'll turn those off real quick so I don't waste the batteries. And that's just a push button. Those batteries were not that fun to get in. I mean, you basically had to take this whole head apart, or at least I did, to be able to get those in. The tank cannon does not go up, you know, does not go in at all. It's just kind of all one piece. So the tank really, I mean, other than the motion feature, there's really not too much to it. You can get him to look down a little bit just because of the transformation, but it does look a little strange even when you turn his head any more than like 10 degrees just because of how long the back is. So I wouldn't recommend that too much for posing. Again, we already went over the arms and what they can do, and the legs. Stop it. But let's go ahead to go to the back, and we'll get these wings on, these tracks. And basically what you do is you just come back here, and there's those 2 little posts right there. Then this piece just kind of sits right there. And I'll try and be careful not to make him talk again. Push those in. These come out. And this piece does come up. Alright, so I remember what I'm doing wrong. Basically, you just got to take this up. And then this bends down. And then this bends forward, and then there's tabs on this that kind of lock this backpack in, just like that, and just like that. And that holds all of this messiness and all those wings falling down together. And as you can see, it's a very thick wing section on here. But from the front, that's what you can see. And someone said you could fold these pieces back, but I found that you actually cannot fold those tips back. If you can see that, they will not actually fold back. So anyway, it does have a waist rotation. Again, a nice ratchet. You have a spot to put your Autobot symbol there. And we'll look at the knees real quick. And they are actually double jointed as well. And you can get a nice clickety-clackety from them. So overall, I think it's a very nice looking figure. It's definitely a lot better in person, especially with the paint details on it, than what we saw originally, the prototype of this, which was basically unpainted, but it was painted enough, or it was plastic colored enough that it looked like they could have just released it like that. So I am really happy with how he came out. As far as transformation is definitely not the best. It's probably the worst out of the three. I don't have the DX9 one yet. I plan to get that in the blue color, hopefully, if everything goes well. But I have him, and I have Fans Toys Alchigis Mywalagis, which I'll bring in here real quick just for a size comparison. So here we have Fans Toys version as a comparison, and you can see, or maybe you can't see, the Fans Toys one is definitely about a head taller. Now, to be fair, his legs aren't straight up. When you do that, Fans Toys is still about a half a head taller. Wings are definitely much bigger on the back there. And, I mean, but they do look pretty similar, and I really, really like the look of these guys. For me, the Fans Toys one is still a little bit better. One of the things I would say is there's a little bit too much of a gap in between his legs, which the Fans Toy, or the Wei Jiang one, does not have. So there's a couple things, you know, give or take on this guy, depending on what you like and what you're looking for. I like the transformation on this a lot better. It's more intuitive, more, you know, designed a lot better in my opinion. It doesn't feel like a cheat compared to what the Wei Jiang one does. And the Wei Jiang one is, you know, a little bit more toy accurate in the fact that the toy one was a cheat too, the original G1 toy. So it just, whatever you like. I did forget to mention that you can plug this piece into his cannon right there for either shuttle mode or for fighting. Right there. But yeah, I just wanted to give you guys a quick look, quick comparison, quick everything on this guy. And I really do thank you guys for watching, and hopefully you'll subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, comment, all that fun stuff. Also make sure to follow me on Facebook at Reviews by Diecast and on Twitter at Diecast2. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time.